Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on The Gorge. And The Gorge is an Apple Plus or Apple TV exclusive film starring Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, as well as Sigourney Weaver in a part. Now, it is one I've been anticipating quite a bit. I am a big fan of Anya Taylor-Joy. She's one of my favorites working today. Everything from The Witch to Furiosa recently, things like Queen's Gambit. I could go on and on through her whole filmography. She's just a really unique, kind of special talent, I think. And when I heard the premise for this movie, I was pretty excited. It's directed by Scott Derrickson. Excuse the noise. I am sitting in a parking lot right now. Scott Derrickson, he did things like Sinister. He did People Are Weird as Hell, which is not a title, just commenting on some of the parking lot shenanigans here. But yeah, he did Sinister, as well as Hellraiser Inferno, which I actually had an okay time with given the circumstances. And then more, kind of prominently, he did The Black Phone recently, which I did not like as much as some, but it's a good, I think, gateway horror movie. And filmmaking wise, it was good on that end, as well as just Ethan Hawke's performance. But this movie I liked, not as much as I wanted to, though. Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller are both very good in this. I think Teller has a bright future as well. They have a really nice kind of fleshed out dynamic here, and they're both very charming together, whether they're next to each other, or across the gorge. And just that location itself, it's just a cool location to have. The premise itself and the details of it, I think, are at least a fairly unique story and fresh, sort of film. So it's a well-produced film and an example of no original ideas. I think at least this one for me feels fresh. But I don't want to spoil it, but as the movie goes, there's things that unravel and it sort of becomes a bit bigger than I was thinking and weirder, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just think it maybe overshoots itself a little bit and it sort of becomes a fairly different film. And it was entertaining. I'll say the effects are good. There's obviously some intense, sequences. As to what's actually in the gorge, not what I would have gone with. I was hoping for something a little bit different. It felt sort of generic and not as memorable as I wanted it to be. But still, you have Joy and Teller carrying it, so I did still feel fairly invested in the proceedings of it all. The ending is also fairly satisfying, if not a bit more conventional than it maybe should have gone. It sort of reminds me of a movie like Dreamcatcher, the Stephen King film. I like the initial premise and setup of it, then it sort of just jumps into the shark a bit. Not as bad as that. The Gorge, I think, is a much more consistent film, but just for an example. Still, again, a unique film with very good actors, enough to probably make me revisit at some point. There's a sweetness there, and they do definitely achieve with the relationship aspect of it. And again, the action is good. There are some fairly intense sequences, and the fact that it was released on Valentine's Day, it was definitely meant to hinge on Joy and Teller, and they definitely succeeded with that. So if I had to rate it, I'm giving it probably a B plus, somewhere in there. My issues with it were not enough to drag it too far down for me. Just didn't absolutely love it. But yeah, peace.